Hello everyone, and welcome back to the 2018 Granny Square Crochet Along. Today we are making this square the climbing steps square. It has these step type cables at the corner. They are very simple to make, nothing too complicated on this square. So yeah, it's a nice square to make up. So climbing steps, climbing corners, I think this square is called. So one colour is all that's suggested, but if you want to change colours in between rounds, then by all means do so. Get some different colours of yarn, but I'm just going to use one colour yarn today. Now today I am using blue. It is April the 2nd today. This is square 92 of the Crochet Along. But today is April the 2nd, which is World Autism Day. April is World Autism Month, and today is Autism Day of the particular day, and blue is the colour that's used for it is the autism colour of that cause. So today I am using blue especially, and I might try and use a lot more blue throughout April as well. So yeah, so if you want to join in with that supporting World Autism Day, then it would be fantastic to see lots of blue squares today, if you wish. Otherwise, grab whatever yarn you're going to use and grab your hook. As always, I'm using a 4.5mm hook with this DK or 8-ply yarn, and yeah, let's make this climbing corners square. Let's get started on round 1. So round 1. Now, instead of doing the magic ring or the chain and slip stitch, this is another method that I showed you in the how-to of the magic ring. For this square, it is suggested that you chain 4, and then into this very first chain here by your slip knot, you're going to use that instead of a ring, and then these last 3 chains are going to count as your first double crochet. Okay, so you're going to do double crochets into this very first chain to go into that first loop, and you're going to do 15 double crochets, because then with your chain of 3, that will count as 16 double crochets in your loop. This, you can see now, this chain is basically acting as our magic ring, and when you've finished your 15 double crochets plus your chain, you will tighten this, and I'll join you for a slip stitch here. So 15 double crochets, and I'll join you in a sec. Okay, so hold on to your work, pull that tail down, and that closes up that gap there on that chain, and then go into your top chain 3 that you started and do your slip stitch, just as we usually do on our rounds when we close them. So just pull that tail tight, and just remember, as your magic ring, you will need to weave this in very securely, because one slight tug and it will come loose and open. Okay, so round 2, we are going to chain 3, which as usual counts as our first double crochet, and we're going to be making a corner into this same stitch. So a double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. So therefore your corners will be 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet, and then you're going to do 3 double crochets. So 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. It's 3 double crochet, and then you're going to do your next corner. So that's a double crochet and a second double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet, all into the same stitch, and then you're going to follow this around: 3 double crochet, corner, 2 double, 1 chain, 2 double, 3 double crochet, corner, 3 double crochet all the way around and slip stitch into your top chain, and I'll meet you back for round 3. Okay, and then just slip stitch into the top of your chain 3 as usual. Now what you want to do is use a slip stitch and go across, so slip stitch in your next stitch and a slip stitch into your corner. So your yarn is now coming from your corner chain space. Okay, so if you did want to change colour, that's where you would add your new colouring in that chain space. Okay, now we are going to do another corner. Your corners on the whole square are 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet, but your first one will always be this chain 3 and 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet. There's your first corner of this round. And now you're going to do 3 double crochet. Now don't forget, your first stitch of this round will be hidden slightly under this corner. Let's pull that along, and then you can see you've got a stitch right here. So that's your first double crochet, and then do 2 more double crochet along that side, 3 double crochet, and this will be the same pattern for every round now. So it's your corner, you'll always be going into your corner space, doing your corner and then 3 double crochets. Okay, so this will repeat every round now. So 3 double crochet. Now you're going to do a front post treble crochet, so that's 2 yarn overs, so you end up with 3 loops on your hook, and then you are going to go around the double crochet here, the first double crochet of the previous round, the one after the chain space. Okay, so you've got your corner, sorry, just checking the pattern. So you've got your corner here on this previous round, and you've got your 2 before it, so you've got your chain and then your double, and then here you've got your 2 doubles. You want this first double after the space. Okay, so technically your 1, 2, 3, your 3rd double crochet. Okay, so do your 2 yarn overs, and then you're going to go under that stitch, okay, under that double crochet, get your hook behind, and then yarn over and complete your treble crochet as you always would. So you've yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So this is a bit like we're making cables, a bit like if you've done the sticks and stones square, and I think there's another square we did that's a bit like this. Okay, so you've done this treble crochet front post over this double crochet here. Okay, and then you are going to do 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches. So you've got your stitch that you made here, and then on the next stitch you're going to do a double crochet and then a second one in the next one. So 2 double crochets along, and then you are going to skip a stitch. So you're going to skip this next stitch, and then in this stitch here, which is the one before the space, so this one here was after the space. You've got the space here and you use the stitch after the space. This one you're using the stitch before the space. Okay, and you're going to do a treble front post. Okay, so you're going to skip this next stitch and then go under this stitch here, the one before the space of the corner. Do your treble crochet over that stitch there from that row below, and then you are going to make a double crochet in this stitch here that you skipped. So you're going to do a double crochet, but you're going to do it behind. Okay, so you can either go like this and pull your stitch down and work here, like so. Or, as I've shown you once before when we skipped a stitch, you can go from the front and use your hook this way round and hook that loop there and go under and under those 2 bars there. Okay, so you're going to go into that double crochet that you skipped. Okay, so you can see that these 2 here now, these 2 front post treble crochets, you've got them, one's coming this way and one's coming this way. This is starting to form our steps. Okay, so now you've done all of that side, you're going to do your corner. No, sorry, you're going to go into the top of this where we did our front post, so this stitch here. You're going to go into the top of that, so you've got your front post coming here. You can see you've got your front post here, and then the very top of that double crochet that you went around, you're going to do a double crochet in the top, so just before the corner space. Okay, and then you're going to do your corner of 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. Oops. Okay, so that's your corner, and now you're going to do 3. We're going to repeat this side. Okay, so if you need to, you can rewind it to this. Oops, sorry, I just knocked the tripod. We're going to repeat this side along every side now. I'm going to take you down one more side. So you want to do, so move this along to get your, find your first stitch, which is hiding there. So 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3 double crochets. Let's get some yarn. 3 double crochets, and now do your 2 yarn overs for your front post treble in this double crochet of the previous row after the space. So you've got the space here, and you want the next double crochet, so under that stitch there, the one after the space, and do your treble crochet. Okay, and then you're going to do 2 more double crochets along this top. So your last one was there, so we're going to do 1 and 2, and then skip the next one, and then do a front post double crochet around this one here, the one before the space, so after the space, before the space. So front post treble, oh, I'm doing a double, so front post treble, 2 yarn overs around this stitch here, and then a double crochet behind this one into this missed skipped stitch. So pull your stitch down or put your hook in from front to back and go into that missed stitch with a double crochet. Okay, and then you're going to do a double crochet in the very top of this double crochet that we just when we did the front post. Okay, so that stitch before your corner, do a double crochet into the top of that one, and now your corner, 2 double crochet, chain 1, oops, get my hook back in there, 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet. Oh, what am I doing today? What am I doing? Let's try that 2 double crochet again, shall we? 1 and 2, and then you're going to repeat this all the way around. So you're going to do your 3 double crochet, do your front post treble crochet in this stitch here after your space, and then do your next 2 double crochet, skip 1, front post double crochet on this one before the space, do your skipped stitch, and then go into the top of this one with a double crochet, and then do your corner. If you need to, rewind the video and follow it back for these last 2 rounds, and then you'll be able to do this here. Okay, and I will meet you back at the end here. Okay, so your last stitch of this round will be into the top of this double crochet before your first corner that you made. So in the top of this this double crochet where you did your last front post. Okay, so that double crochet is your last stitch of that round. It might not be as easy to get into there because it's where you did your chain and slip stitch. Okay, so it might be a little tricky to get into there. It's where you did your slip stitch to get over to your corner. Okay, so just wiggle your hook into there, as I always say, and make your last double crochet, and then as always a slip stitch into your first or top chain of there, and that's your third round. So you can see now on each corner, sorry if I went off camera there, we're getting these front posts on each side of the corner, starting to make your corner steps. So the next row will have another step here and another step here. So that is your first round of your steps. If you can see them on camera there, can you see the texture? There you go. So get ready for round 4. Okay, now every round now repeats the same pattern that we've just done. The only difference is the amount of stitches along your side. So where we only did 2 stitches in the middle, this time there will be more. Okay, so each round you will have more stitches in the middle, but the corners, how you start and the corners for these steps is always exactly the same. Okay, so I'm going to take you through the first row of this round. So we always need to slip stitch over into our corner space, always start in our corner space, and we do our first chain 3 for our double crochet and a second double crochet. Okay, 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet as our corner. Okay, and then you're going to do 3 double crochet. So again, just like the previous round, 1 2 3 double crochet, and then you're going to do your treble crochet front post around this stitch here of the previous round, the one straight after the space. Okay, so front post treble around there, and then you're going to do 8 double crochet along here. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, oops, popped off the hook, 7 and 8 double crochet along there. So you're basically taking yourself to you're working up to 3 stitches away from the corner. So you don't need to necessarily count how many, but you're leaving the last 2 stitches before your corner. So here's your corner space where my finger is, and you've got 2 stitches left. So you work all the way along to the last 2 stitches, and then you are going to do your front post treble, because you're going to skip this next stitch and then go into this stitch before the space to do your front post treble. Okay, so always work along to leaving 2 stitches here, skip 1, and then do your front post, and then you're going to do your double crochet in the skipped stitch just as before. So behind that front post, do your double crochet, and then as before, a double crochet in the top of this double crochet where you did the front post treble. Okay, and that's that side. It's exactly the same as before. So you're going to do your corner of 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, oops, there we go, and then you're going to do 3 double crochet, and then come back for your front post, and then you're going to do 8, last 2, skip 1, do your front post, and then you're going to go back into that missed stitch, and then you're going to go in this stitch, and then you're going to do your corner. So it's exactly the same. If you need to, rewind a few minutes and follow this row that we just did, and follow that all the way around, all the way back to here, and then you're going to slip stitch in here as before. So all the way around exactly the same. Just rewind it if you need to follow it again. So as before, don't forget your last double crochet in the top of the double crochet where you did your final front post treble crochet, and then your slip stitch into the top of that chain 3, and that is the end of 1, 2, 3, 4, round 4. So you can see these steps are forming quite nicely now. You've got 2 sets of steps now. You've got 2 here, 2 here, so you've got 2 steps. So it's looking quite good, guys. So we're going to go on to round 5. Round 5, as I said before, round 5 is exactly the same as we've done. The only difference is when we come along the side, we did 2, then we did 8, and now we're going to be doing 14. So we add 6 stitches every time, so 14 stitches along this side. So I'll take you along your first side as I have previously. So you're going to slip stitch over to your corner. Remember, if you're changing colour, your corner is where you would then change colour. So slip stitch to your corner, chain 3, double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet along, 1, 2, oops, I'm doing 2 in the same stitch there. I'm trying to give myself 2 corners, 1, 2, 3, and then we do our front post treble back here, the one straight after the space, do a front post treble, and then we do our 14, 1, 2, I'm just going to do these 14 and then I'll catch up with you. Okay, so I've done my 14 along, and as I said before, it means if you're not counting, you're stopping before the last 2 double crochets. Okay, so then you're going to skip a double crochet and do your front post treble into this stitch just before the corner space. Okay, front post treble in that stitch and a double crochet in the stitch behind, so you can just pull it down and do your double crochet in that stitch that you skipped working behind, and excuse me, double crochet in that stitch there at the top of where we've done our front post, and then your corner, which you know by now is 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. So you're going to follow that all the way around, doing your corners exactly as you have done before, and then along the middle it's going to be 14 stitches, and then you're going to follow it all the way around. So if you need to, rewind the video, follow this back along around every side, and I'll meet you back around here at the beginning. Okay, so I have finished round 5. I just want to say, if the screen has gone a bit darker, I apologise. I started this in daylight, and then I had a big, massive yarn tangle. So I've spent a while doing that, and now it's dark, so it's not quite as bright. So I hope it's okay though. So finish that round. So you just need to do our slip stitch into the top of your chain as always, and that is the end of round 5. So it's looking a bit like this now. You've got 3 sets of steps going on at the sides now, 1, 2, 3. Okay, It's probably pulling in a bit in the middle, so it might be one that benefits from blocking. Even if you don't block all your squares, you might benefit from blocking this one. Okay, so round 6, as I said at the beginning, every round is exactly the same, it just gets bigger. So if you're wanting to, you know, run ahead now, when you do the stitches in the middle of the row, you will now have 20 stitches in the middle there. So let me get you started on this round. So do your slip stitch in your double crochet and slip stitch into your chain space, your corner space, ready to start your corner. So do your corner of 3, oops, sorry, just the camera there. Do your 3 double crochet, 3 chains and a double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. You know this pattern now, don't you? So then you're going to do your 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3 double crochets, and then you're going to do your front post treble crochet, yarn over twice, go into the stitch next to just past your corner space. So go into that behind it and do your front post treble crochet. And now you're going to do 20 double crochets all the way along. But if you don't want to count, as I don't like counting very much either, go until you have 2 stitches left before your corner space. When you've got 2 stitches left, stop, do your front post treble and continue as before. Go behind, do your skipped stitch and then do your stitch in the top of this one where you've done your front post, and do your corner, and continue in exactly the same way as you have on these other rounds, and I will meet you back around here. And here we go. I have finished off my round and I have done a slip stitch into my top chain and fastened off. That was the last round. If your square doesn't happen to be the 6 inches or the size that you are making your squares, then feel free to add another round as we've done, bearing in mind, if you're counting, the stitches along the middle will now be 26 stitches, so 26 there if you're doing another round. Or you could just do a small row of single crochets if you only need a tiny bit of an extra size. So there's your such at the corners. If you can see that on camera, if I move this, can you see those cables on the top there? Such a nice square, quite a simple design, but such a nice square to make up. So don't forget to pull your middle tighter. You might you'll need to secure that quite well. Don't pull it in too tight because it is kind of distorting in the middle, so you might want to block it and do all of that stuff that you normally do with your squares. And yeah, so I can't wait to see photos of your squares up in the Facebook group, the 2018 crochet along, Granny Square crochet along. The link and everything are in the box below. And if you found this video useful and helpful, please give us a thumbs up, and any comments or questions in the comments below as well. So until next time, guys, just keep hooking and don't let your tea get cold.